Assalamu alaikum. I welcome you again in the online session today here. And this is me, Nasir Ullah, and we would today talk about the nonverbal cues and its Urdu meaning. Simply, when we at times encounter with different nonverbals in the form of communication and interacting with people, and those nonverbals become difficult for us to understand and to get meaning out of it. And that is the reason that this lecture is being recorded for all of you to understand these difficult words and to further identify that how these words are used either in spoken or written language to extract meaning out of it. So let's start the lecture. बात चूंकि हमने अभी स्टार्ट की जैसे कि नॉन वर्बल क्यूज बहुत सारे होते हैं नॉन वर्बल क्यूज की जहां तक हम बात करें तो वो डिस्कस किए जाते हैं एज पर द सिचुएशन गिवन. So there are certain expressions related to nonverbal cues, and they are at times difficult to understand, as I told you. को तो उसको समझने के लिए थोड़ा सा हम सिचुएशनल बेस्ड चीज़ों को डिस्कस करेंगे on the screen now, and they are for you. For instance, if in any speech, in any written discourse or spoken discourse, किसी भी task assignment, marked activity या किसी भी एग्जाम के क्वेश्चन में अगर कोई ऐसा एक वर्ड आ जाए जैसा कि for instance मैं अगर आपसे कहता हूँ कि slouchy, so now slouchy is something that is related to a non-verbal attribute, right? But since most of the people maybe do not know its meaning, and that is the reason कि आप वो जो text के अंदर एक certain situation है या जो आपने hidden meaning identify करनी है वो miss हो जाती हैं. For that reason, we will be discussing different words, and let's discuss those words one by one. For instance, if we talk about the shabby word, in Urdu हम इसको कहते हैं कि खस्ता हाल. अगर कोई shabby है इसका मतलब ये है कि उसकी शर्ट बाहर है, बाल बिखरे हुए हैं, मुंह नहीं धोया. तो ये पर्सनालिटी ट्रेट को आइडेंटिफाई करता है कि इफ आई एम सेइंग shabby look, it means that the person is shabby. He's not well dressed, he's not neat and clean, not tidy, or प्रॉब्लम है, कुछ खस्ता हाली के हालत में है वो. दैट इज द वर्ड. इफ यू सी सच वर्ड शेबी, so this is something that we can count meaning with. Cluttered is something के if something is dispersed, बिखरा हुआ पड़ा हुआ है, बेतरतीबी से पड़ा हुआ है, untidy है. तो cluttered files हो सकती हैं, cluttered pots हो सकते हैं, and cluttered books हो सकती हैं, right? So it could be anything else. If something is cluttered, it means it is somewhere else, बेतरतीबी से पड़ा हुआ होना. Moving down the line towards this entire situation that is in front of you, if we start with the slumped, which means a bit lean or fall heavily. Slumped simply mean ये होता है कि जैसे कोई कुर्सी पे बैठा होता है लेकिन कभी कभी देखा होगा कुर्सी पर पड़ा हुआ होना, right? Half asleep, right? और कमर थोड़ी सी झुकी हुई होना. तो she slumped against the cushion mean के वो एक पड़ा हुआ होने वाली सिचुएशन में जो है ये slumped के मीनिंग आते हैं. तो और फ्राउन एक और वर्ड है कि इफ यू टॉक अबाउट द फ्राउन वर्ड्स हियर, जिसमें आप कहते हैं कि जब आप अपनी बाहें जो है वो चढ़ाते हैं तो दैट इज समथिंग. इफ समवन इज स्लाइटली फ्रॉनिंग, it means that that is a weird situation or maybe confused, perplexed situation is being discussed in this. So that is somehow we extract meaning out of it. Now this particular situation that has been created here, slouchy, sust, right? For instance, if someone is slouchy, if the posture is slouchy, it is dull, it is not active, a bit passive and submissive. तो सुस्त रवि वाला जो मामला है उसको हम स्लाउची के कैटेगरी में रखते हैं. और ये नॉन वर्बल से सारे जो कि टेक्स्ट में आएंगे और आ सकते हैं आपके टास्क में, तो आपको ये चीज़ें पता होनी चाहिए. एंड यू नीड टू नो कि हाउ टू कैटर with all those slouchy attributes and things being done in this way. If we talk about the shrug here, so that is somehow when you raise one's shoulders slightly and momentarily to express doubt. Picture में आपको नजर आ रहा है कि this is something that when you do this particular position, this particular posture is there. तो ये shrug के definition में आता है कि you are confused, you don't know about that thing, things are not decided maybe, or you are doubtful about things. Fidgety is another word of the day, which is a bit restlessness. To move about restlessness nervously or impatiently, it means you're nervous, you're confused, you are, a bit fidgety, or you fidget because of that reason. If we talk about the furtive, तो presentation में usually लोग furtive होते हैं, in rush, they try to finish their presentation as soon as possible, and that is something that's the reason that they do not catch the audience attention. That is something we do. Moving down the line towards different postures that we have. If you look at this particular picture here, ये जो चार्ट है, पोस्चर की दो एक्सट्रीम सिचुएशंस यहाँ गिवन है, कैटेगरी है और फिर रेटिंग गिवन है। ये एक्चुअली एक रूब्रिक का पार्ट है जो हमने यहाँ पर एक्सप्लेन कर रहे हैं, और मकसद हमारा यहाँ पर सिंपली ये है कि हम वर्ड्स को समझ सकें कि ये वर्ड्स क्या हैं। नर्वस उसका ऑपोजिट है पॉइज्ड, इट मीन्स यू आर पॉइज्ड, यू आर कॉन्फिडेंट इनफ, यू आर ओके, यू आर अप टू द पार, अप टू द स्टैंडर्ड। Uncertain, confident, right? Uncomfortable, if you look at it. Then comfortable is of course slouching, as we just discussed, कि आपकी कमर झुकी हुई है, टेढ़े मेढ़े बैठे हुए हैं आप. And erect is something कि you are standing still, and stiff, ये भी इसमें आ सकता है. And relaxed, you're stiff, you're trying to be something else. Moving down the line towards the gestures. Lastly, postures. Now gestures के दो extreme levels हैं, artificial और wooden, जिसको हम कहते हैं कि not real. This is the opposite would be natural and spontaneous. So you need to be natural and spontaneous, rather artificial or wooden. You need to be at times more meaningful rather random. Random में ये होता है meaningful नहीं होते, जैसे आपको कोई चीज आप decided नहीं है, आप आए और फिर बात करना शुरू की, तो आपकी बात जो है उसमें कॉन्क्रीटनेस नहीं होगी, दैट इज कॉल्ड रैंडमनेस. तो मीनिंगफुल तब होगा जब आपने रिसर्च की होगी, यू विल बी वेल प्रिपेयर्ड. पैसिव, लाइवली. If you are passive, of course you are dull, you are not lively, you're not active. Furtive, abhi humne discuss kiya. Expensive, here it is something expensive. Here doesn't mean expensive in terms of economy, expensive in terms of relax and trying to take some pauses and completing your presentation with the normal pace. Vague and precise, right? Vague mean you're jumping from one idea to another idea, you are moving from one idea to another idea, and they're not correlated with each other. There is actually vagueness in the speech, right? And precise, you are straightforward. So detracted from the verbal messages and enhanced verbal messages, that is something, it means कि aligned होनी चाहिए आपके verbal messages non-verbal के साथ, right? Detracted नहीं होना चाहिए, detached नहीं होना चाहिए. Now, body movement की अगर हम बात करें तो dull or lifeless or fluid and animated mean you are smoothly talking about things. It is, I mean, जो भी आपके पास यहाँ पर राइट हैंड साइड पर नजर आ रहे हैं कैटेगरी में, वो असल में एक अच्छे एट्रीब्यूट्स हैं आपके स्पीच में जो आपको होना चाहिए, राइट? Awkward, graceful, you need to look like. Random, and then you need to talk about purposeful things, and drew attention away from the speech, and enhanced attentiveness to speech. This is something that we usually do. This is something that should be done. This is something that needs to be counted at the end of the day. Now, if we talk about the facial expressions here, so deadpan mean wooden face. Deadpan, I mean no movement, बिल्कुल एक still face expression है, कोई movement नहीं है, ना eyebrows move हो रही है, ना eyes move हो रही है, ना वो हंस रहा है somehow, एक deadpan की तरह है. Animated mean you need to at times, smile. A small smile would be suffice. आपकी eyebrows आप use कर रहे हो, आप जो है eye contact कर रहे हो, and this is something become more natural. You need to be friendly rather unfriendly, and not artificial, natural and genuine. Incongruent and appropriate to speech content. Incongruent mean when you started with a speech and they are not, whatever you are saying, it is not related to the speech, you're talking about something else rather. तो ये थोड़ा सा इनकॉन्ग्रेंट के कैटेगरी में आ जाता है. एंड अप्रोप्रिएट टू स्पीच कंटेंट, जो बात कर रहे हैं वो अप्रोप्रिएट है, एंड इट इज acceptable, and it is correlated, organized, and done. So see, these all attributes that we discussed, see, starting from the posture, then gestures, and then body movement and facial expressions, and eye contact, which is the last one. So see, these attributes actually play a vital role in your communication, in your speeches. And of course, if you have to identify hidden meaning from the text, this is something that we need to do. तो दो extremes हैं, right hand side वालों को follow करना है, left hand side वालों को हमने पास ऑन करना है, इसको हमने डिस्कार्ड करना है अपने स्पीचेस में से, एंड दिस इज समथिंग वी नीड टू डू. तो फोर्सफुल और आर्टिफिशियल नहीं होना चाहिए, नेचुरल होना चाहिए, स्मूथ होना चाहिए. आई कांटेक्ट ऐसा नहीं कि एक ही बंदे को देख रहे हो, घूर रहे हो, आप स्मूथली यू मूव फ्रॉम वन पर्सन टू अनदर पर्सन, एंड दिस इज समथिंग इट बिकम्स नेचुरल. Followed a set pattern, no set pattern. Followed set pattern here mean कि you are just looking at the same person, जैसे मैंने अभी आपसे कहा. And no set pattern mean you are randomly moving from one to another, and this creates a bit natural attribute. Didn't establish visual bonds, and you have to establish visual bonds at the end of the day in order to make your speech more productive and effective. So see, these all non-verbals for your speech is extremely demanded, and they are needing at the end of the day. Therefore, I would strongly recommend stick to these all attributes that we talked about, and try to learn those and practice and again practice this, so that at the end of the day, you do not commit any mistakes from the list provided on the left hand side, and try to follow whatever is being given on the right hand side. Thank you very much for watching this video, and kindly drop your questions, your queries, your concerns in the comment box below the video, so that we could come back to you and answer your queries and further clarify things. Thank you very much.